Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dinosaur Podcast. Joined by Nate, back with the Spreads pod that we do every week. Not a great week for us. Nate went over 3. I don't think he's betting on Tennessee again. I
We'll
went 2
see.
for 1. So I'm 500 once again on the year, 18 and 18, and Nate's 15 and 12. Trying to get off the winless week
Yeah,
streak.
yeah. I got five out of my last six have lost, so trying to turn that around this week here.
Yes, sir. So Thursday night game, bit of a stinker here. Got the Rams at home, plus 5.5 versus Vegas. The Rams just got Baker, but I'm guessing he's not going to play.
Yeah, I doubt that turnaround would be long enough for him to get on the field by Thursday.
Yeah. So I'm going Vegas simply because got a 3 game win streak going. Um, you win here, you're 6 and 7. Then you play New England, who's one of the other potential wild card teams you're looking at. You could be back in this playoff race. So they kind of need this game. Touchdown gets it.
Yeah,
I don't even
they,
want to say they're looking good, just like they're looking
they
more like a serviceable team.
they're looking competent, which has
Yeah.
not been the case prior to that point. And I agree with all you said. I was thinking Raiders, and for some reason, it seems like both these teams, whatever I think, the opposite happens. So I'm just gonna go with the Rams because of that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Move on. Move on quick here. Pittsburgh at home minus 2.5 versus Baltimore. Obviously, no Lamar. So
Mhm.
1 to 3 weeks, I believe. But
Yeah.
Huntley's a capable backup.
hmm Probably
Um,
one of the best backups in the league. I mean, he he did fine. I mean, the Broncos have a good defense, so obviously he didn't do great against them. But last year he filled in for Lamar pretty well. I mean, they didn't have a great record with him, but he played well enough to keep that backup job, and I think he's definitely one of the better backups in the league.
Broncos have an elite defense, which is just a shame because,
They're
we're
putting it
not
to
going to see that defense in the playoffs.
now. Crazy.
Um, but I'm going Pittsburgh just because I was honestly kind of surprised they're favored, but they're kind of hot. And it just seems like that division, the Bengals are going to take it because the Ravens, just roster wise, don't give Lamar anything. So, like what Lamar's doing to me is amazing. He truly has nothing,
Seriously, yeah.
you
His
know,
top wide receiver is Demarcus Robinson and Devin Duvernay, so it's
and he doesn't have any backs, right?
you know,
Um, so it's
yeah,
impressive to me. But with Huntley running it, don't feel great about that. So I'm going Pittsburgh.
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh here too. Both these teams have pretty good defenses. The Steelers started off the year not as great, but they've picked it up ever since TJ Watt came back. And just uh, Tyler Huntley, like I said, is probably one of the better backups in the league. But like you said, the Steelers are looking better the past couple weeks. Obviously, it's been against the Colts and the Falcons, but I mean, still, you need to get those wins when you can get them. And yeah, just don't think Tyler Huntley is going to be able to get it done. And it does look like the Bengals are going to really make a run for this division and probably win it with Lamar out. So yeah, just doesn't seem like the Ravens have what it takes to get this one done here. So I'm going to go Steelers as well.
Yeah, Bengals are finally starting to look like the Super Bowl threat. We all thought they would
Yeah.
be, which that's the next game is Cincinnati minus 5.5 at home versus Cleveland. I'm going Cincinnati. Did not see a good game from Deshaun Watson. They
Mhm.
really won that game because of their defense. I know Joe Burrow likes to throw picks, but there's some fluky plays in that game that the defense took
Yeah,
advantage of that I don't envision Cincinnati making. I think they're going to
for
keep
sure.
riding it with because they got that big Chiefs win. That's always impressive when they do it. I know they're 3-0 in their last 3 versus them, but it's always impressive. So
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it seems like no one in the league has Patrick Mahomes' number except Joe Burrow. But yeah, They are looking, like you said, like a Super Bowl contender right now. The Browns, it's a lost season for them. Yeah, I don't think they even have a chance to make it at this point. Maybe like not mathematically eliminated, but this is pretty much a lost season. Deshaun did not look great. And yeah, the Bengals are rolling, so I'm gonna go with the Bengals here too.
All right. Big spread on the next one. But we know I ain't afraid of big spreads. So it's
Oh, you're not.
Dallas minus
Mhm.
16 and a half versus Houston at home. And I'm locking it
Yeah.
because Houston cannot defend the run game. And we have clearly seen the Cowboys' run game's elite. Zeke finally said that he thinks they're better when Pollard runs the ball, which is honorable from him.
I
Um,
mean, he's more explosive, but Zeke's still getting it done too, and they're both gonna run all over him.
yeah, it seems like they're gelling. I'm expecting 250 plus rushing yards, and I mean 33 unanswered in very quick fashion on that Sunday night game.
Yeah,
Dallas is just rolling, and Houston just isn't a good team. Is Kyle Allen still going to be the QB? I think so.
probably. I mean, yeah, Kyle Allen, Davis Mills. No matter who you throw out there, they're just so awful and a football team. I almost just said NFL. I don't even know if you can call them an NFL team at this point. It's like it's
Yeah, they're
just bad.
1-10-1.
Going for the 1-1-1-1 after this.
The
But yeah,
11-11.
right. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys here too. Not gonna lock it just because I don't love the big spreads. You're not afraid of them, but I'm a
I'm
little
scared.
afraid. Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, honestly, yeah, like you said, Dallas is gonna run all over him. I wouldn't be surprised. Is their third string Malik Davis? I think is their third string. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like a couple touchdowns in this one. I mean, it's gonna be a rout, but you know what? I'm gonna lock this too
He's
because
locking it.
the, there's no way that the Texans have a chance in this one. And you saw obviously the Colts offense is not good, but they absolutely defense is fine, and they put up a 50 spot on them. So I don't see any way that the Texans defense is going to be able to stop this run game.
With me, it just comes down to I don't see a way Houston wins, and I don't see a way the Cowboys don't win by like at least 13. And
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, if you're already at that point, and we saw them get 33 unanswered against a much better defense,
hmm
and they've just been doing well. Um, just
The
right.
the only Yeah, I'm still confident in the lock, but the only thing that scares me a little is like kind of like that Miami game against the Texans. They were up, I think it was 30-0 at halftime, and then just kind of took their foot off the gas, and Texans were able to come out and cover the spread, I think. But yeah, I'm not scared about this one. Let's
It's
go
always the
go
worry is like the prevent defense coming out. But
exactly. Yeah, but even prevent for that Cowboys defense, they'll still probably be able to hold this team.
next up, Tennessee at home, minus 3.5 versus Jacksonville. I can't not go Tennessee. I don't think there's any after that Jacksonville game. Really tough to pick them. And I know Tennessee got blown out, but it's by one of the better teams in the league. And also, they just weren't winning that game. There was such a big storyline against them, and they're playing the best team in the league
Yeah.
record wise at their place.
Right. Yeah. In an AJ Brown revenge game as
That's what I
well.
mean. There was just such a big storyline that like you just knew it wasn't going to happen.
Mhm. Yeah. And I wish I knew that Jordan Davis was coming back because I probably wouldn't have locked it with the saying Derrick Henry was going to have 200 rushing yards and he had like 30 something. So that was a tough one. But yeah, I'm gonna go Titans here too. Gonna stay off the lock though. I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
break
we're
from.
going to take a week off. Next up, Detroit at home minus 1.5
This is a weird one.
versus the Vikings. And I can't not go Detroit because I don't know. I guess I do know. Well, no, I actually don't. But why they're favored,
It's
I
crazy.
don't see like there's a 5 win difference record wise, right?
Mhm.
I know Detroit absolutely destroyed Jacksonville, but to me, I don't think.
They're they're hot, but I mean it's
But are they though? I
what,
mean, they
4 out of
lost
5,
they lost the week previous.
right? Yeah. So yeah, maybe like 3 out of 4. They're not. Yeah, they're not that hot, but they're playing better. Yeah, this line confuses me, but I usually take the traps, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna take the Vikings because it with a line this small, you just got to pick who you think's gonna win the game, and I got the Vikings taking it. So yeah, I'm gonna go Vikings.
You gonna lock it?
No, because I'll think about it. I have one lock that I already have, so I'll think about that one. But I'm between another one, so we'll get back to that.
All right. Next up, Buffalo at home -9.5 versus the Jets. I'm locking this one because Buffalo already lost to the Jets at their
Mhm.
place. They obviously want revenge. I was at that game. Josh Allen looks back. I
Yeah,
saw no elbow injuries whatsoever, no issues. Still don't trust Mike White. Cool that he torched the Bears and whatever, but uh, I'm
and
not
the
buying it.
Vikings not great secondary too. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bills here as well. I believe this game last year was when Mike White threw 3 or 4 picks and it kind of fell apart for him. Yeah, and like you said, yeah, they're lost to the Jets already. They're going for revenge. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills here too.
All right. Next up, Giants at home +6.5 versus Philly. Gotta ride Philly. You just gotta
Yeah, I mean,
touchdown, because I wouldn't say they're, is really like a threat like that they could lose, but you got one game coming up with Dallas, and you could conceivably lose that.
yeah,
Um, you don't want to get in any tiebreaker situations. Their schedule isn't that difficult that they can just win out the rest of the way, even if they lose Dallas because they have a 2 game lead and you're the 1 seed. So the Giants aren't like a threat to them, I feel like.
no, yeah, I mean, and the Commanders have looked great. They obviously Heineke's been awesome, but they couldn't even beat. That was in New York, right? That
In New
game.
York.
You couldn't take you tied the Commanders, so obviously it's not a loss, but I mean, uh, yeah, the Eagles are going to take care of business here for sure, and yeah, Eagles and that -6.5 touchdown wins it. So yeah, it's a good line too. So yeah, Eagles -6.5.
Next up, Denver at home +9.5 versus KC. Shockingly, I'm going Denver simply because home, the altitude's kind of weird. I feel like KC always kind of struggles against Denver, even when they've had horrendous teams. I
Yeah,
remember some Drew Lock games where like the game is kind of close for a bit, like a
yeah,
good amount of time. So, and I do think the Denver defense is truly elite. Like I don't think KC is going to be able to get like 35 plus points on them. I think they might get like 21, which I know tall task asking Russell Wilson to maybe get some points on the board, but I don't know. Maybe
it's
it's one of my bold ones.
yeah. This is the lock that I have. I'm going Chiefs here,
Okay.
just because they lost last week. Pat Mahomes off a loss. Yeah, this defense is real good, but they also what they put up 35, 40 something on the Niners earlier in this year off a loss. So,
Good point.
yeah, the Broncos, I can't bet on. I'm surprised this line isn't bigger. Honestly, I know that uh, Denver's at home, and yeah, you're right about them usually being able to keep it close with the Chiefs. But this team, if if the Chiefs get 25 points, Like I don't see
Yeah.
I don't see the Broncos putting up like 14, honestly, and that's insane to say at this point, but it's not really because they haven't been able to do it all year. So, yeah, I'm gonna lock this one in here.
Part of me thinks Vegas is just struggling to believe this Russell Wilson thing.
Exactly. Like all the lines all year have been like, no, they're gonna put it together eventually, right? And they
And
just
I kind of fall for it.
yeah, I've fallen for it a couple times this year, and it sucks that they suck. I, I bet on them against the Panthers, and they couldn't even beat them. So I mean, yeah, it's bad down or over there in Denver. So yeah,
Yeah. All right. Next up, Seattle at home -3.5 versus Carolina. Seattle's been mean to me, man. They just keep being mean to me on the spread. So screw them. Going Carolina. No logic behind it.
Mhm.
Really no
Hey,
logic.
sometimes you don't have to have logic. Sometimes you just gotta bet with your
It
heart.
kind of works this year, right? And plus Carolina will have these games that for no reason they're just like, yeah, we want to win today. And they just play like a good football team. Maybe this is the week.
It could be. It could be. I'm just gonna go with the Seahawks
Hmm.
because I think they're clearly the better team
No
here.
Kenneth
Obviously,
Walker though.
true, true. But I mean, DJ Dallas got hurt too. I think, right? I mean, so they might be, uh, yeah, they might be hurting there in the run game. But Geno Smith should be able to handle this not great Panthers defense. They're not horrible, but they're not great. So yeah, I see Geno having a pretty good game off his career high, I believe, in passing yards. So he's looking good. He's off. I think it was off the they had a bye a couple weeks ago. I don't know, but yeah, he's looking good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here.
Okay. Next up, San Fran at home -3.5 versus Tampa Bay. San Fran obviously has Mr. Irrelevant at QB now because Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt. Um, Tampa Bay came off quite the win versus Saints. I think they might
Yeah.
have figured something out there. Clearly, they need to be doing some more no huddle,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
I'm going Tampa just because, San Fran, I think Tom always plays special there and he always likes going there. It's his home, right? And
Mhm.
they just kind of, they don't necessarily care about seeding. They know they're going to be that 4 seed if they win the division, but I think they kind of just want to lock it up.
Yeah,
So I think they'll take care of business, honestly.
for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks here too. I was Brock Purdy looked solid.
He looked fine.
Yeah, he looked solid last week, but sometimes you see that with a backup quarterback coming in, like
Like
the
Bailey's
defense.
app.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, defense can't game plan for him as much. And then Miami's defense isn't great either. So. Yeah, Bucks defense has looked good. And yeah, like you said, Tom Brady and the offense look like they figured a little something out in the last 5 minutes at least. So maybe they'll take something from that and use that moving forward. Like you said, the no huddle, which definitely worked in that last 5 minutes to bring them back. So yeah, uh, gonna go Bucks here. Not too sold on Brock Purdy.
Which these next two teams that I'm picking need to use no huddle because it just when you have a bad offensive line, no huddle is essential. I know it's tough
It
to
would.
do, but if you have a smart enough QB, you should do it because with the O line isn't getting 100% of the defensive player necessarily in the no huddle. The timing's kind of thrown off, and they can't really do substitutions.
Yeah.
So these next two teams I'm going to name that I think will cover need to do no huddle. And so the next game Sunday night is Chargers -2 +2.5 versus the Dolphins. Chargers need to do no huddle. They need to get
Yeah.
some going. They have a good enough quarterback to do it. I have them covering here. That Miami game is a little alarming here. Plus, I think I'm envisioning something interesting to happen with the playoff seedings here, where like the Jets lose and the two wild card teams looking in win, and that's like we got three teams tied at 7-6 for that
Yeah, that
final
would
wild
make
card
it
spot.
definitely interesting. Yeah, the no huddle, especially seems like every time Justin Herbert runs no huddle, it works. So I don't know
Same with
why.
Mac Jones in the very few times he does it.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know why they're not using it more. But this Chargers team, man, they're just they. I don't believe in them, and the the offense of the Dolphins. Yeah, Tua didn't look great last week, but obviously the Niners are a terrific defense. So I'm gonna say he bounces back here, and I'm gonna take the Dolphins minus 2.5.
Right. Final one, Arizona at home +1.5 versus New England. My final lock is New England. Crazy, I know. Being a Patriots fan, I have seen this all too many times, and you will agree, where the media destroys us, deservingly so. We deserve to get destroyed for that performance,
That
but
was
they
awesome.
destroy us, and the season's done, and blah, 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 blah. And then New England comes out, and it's like a completely different team. Very
Mhm.
famous one was on to Cincinnati. We all remember that, where they got embarrassed in Kansas City on Monday night, and then they come back and destroy the Bengals. People want Brady bench, blah, blah, stuff like that, right?
Insanity.
10, was it 10 games, 10 days to prepare now for this game? Because they just played two back-to-back Thursdays and they're playing on Monday night. I think they're going to
Absolutely.
be ready. I think Bill might take over the offense, truthfully.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. Because Patricia, I, on our Patriots rant on our Patriots pods earlier in the year, we remember how early out I was on Patricia. He brought it back a little bit, but yeah, he just absolutely sucked last week with the play calling, and but I am gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you here with all the things you said. The 10 days to prepare for Bill Belichick, the fact that the Cardinals stink at home, and the Patriots love playing in that stadium. They won Super Bowl 49, I believe, against the Seahawks
Yep.
that week. So hopefully you're listening here, Mike. Hopefully that one. But yeah, I'm gonna go Patriots here as well. Yeah, just with that amount of time to prepare for a Bill Belichick team, they should be ready to go here.
The Matt Patricia thing, which I have a Pats review coming out where we mention it, is usually in the sports world, when 100% of people say it's a bad decision, it's probably a bad decision. And I
Right.
think any person who knew football was like Matt Patricia at OC is not a smart thing to do. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. I tried to look at the positives. There were certain games I was like, I thought he did a good job. There were things I liked, but it seems like once Mac fully took over, we have a big regression.
Right.
It was like bad. Okay, we can't get worse than that. So Steelers was a little better. Ravens game was like, oh, we're letting Mac air it out. This is awesome. And Mac gets hurt.
Right.
Then when Zappy's there, it's like you're doing what you got to do with Zappy because you kind of have to manage him. So I was cool with it.
Mhm.
Bears game was very frustrating because Mac's getting different plays than Zappy, and then Zappy comes in and has immediate success because it's like a better play call.
And then Zappy doesn't do that in the second half, and it's just
Yeah,
been so inconsistent this year. It's frustrating for sure.
yeah. But so the locks we got. I got
So
New England, Dallas, Buffalo. You got Dallas, Kansas City, and you're missing one.
yes, I am gonna go with the Vikings now that I've thought about it. It
Right.
they're just a better team, and they're gonna win that game. Like it's basically a pick 'em, and spread doesn't really matter for that. I think they'll win anyway, so Yeah, they're just a better team, and usually I've fallen in these traps quite a
I
few
think your
times.
record is better than you think though with these trap games that we see.
Exactly, yeah. I usually get scared of them, but then I just do it anyways.
It was because
And
like the first one I called,
yeah,
it was like Chargers.
Browns game, right?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
was it? I think it was like Chargers minus
it might have
two
been
and a
the same.
half, and they won by two.
Right. Yeah, that one was tough for me. But yeah, then the Giants won against the Jags. It was like everyone was like, why are the Jags favored in this game? And everyone was like, oh, Vegas has got to know something. Like, oh, everyone picks the Jags. I went with the Giants. They won that one. Just seems like that's going to be the same thing this week. It's like everyone's going to be like, oh, what the hell? How are the Lions favored in this game? Um, eh, Vegas got to know something. They're going to take the Lions, Vikings, lock it.
Yeah, might be a close game, honestly. Might be a shootout, which I think it might be entertaining. But
Both secondaries are not good, so I could definitely see that being a shootout for sure.
yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope, I don't think so. We're almost at the stretch here. Enjoy these last few weeks of football. Enjoy it while they're here.
Yeah, I honestly miss the 16 game season, dude. It just
Yeah,
feels so much longer, and they're just gonna add another week, and it's the football season's gonna feel so long. I just want playoffs like already. Like I feel like,
yeah,
we
it is
know.
kind yeah, it is kind of to that point of the year where it's like that Steelers Falcons game, I think it was, is like, yeah, this game just doesn't really matter. There's some of these games that just
I don't
why
care.
just simulate them. Like we don't need to play them.
Simulate. Yeah.
Like it's just, but yeah, we're almost to the playoffs, so should be a good playoffs for sure. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We'll do this again next week. Hopefully our locks work. Been
Better than
struggling a bit, but yeah, tune in next time.